Welcome. My name is Monsignor Michael Billion, and I'm the pastor of St. Joseph Parish in Sylvania. And I want to take this opportunity to welcome all of our parishioners back home to church. The bishops of Ohio have lifted the dispensation from attendance at Sunday Mass, which means for all of us who are Roman Catholics that we need to take up the obligation again every Sunday or Saturday evening to celebrate Mass together in our parish churches. The real presence of Jesus in the Eucharist is not something that we can experience completely virtually. Christ's presence in the Eucharist is real, and our personal presence is required to receive it. This invitation is for everyone to recognize more profoundly than ever the irreplaceable need to be in person for the celebration of the Sunday Mass. Nothing compares to being there. As Catholics, we believe that the Eucharist is the body and blood of Christ. The pandemic brought many changes to Sunday worship. For a while, parishioners weren't even able to be present at all to the celebration of Mass. Live streaming Mass during this difficult time was helpful, but just doesn't compare to being there in person. For some time, many have been a part of Sunday Mass through live streaming. Now, as the pandemic wanes and restrictions are lifted in our churches, I invite all of the faithful of our parish to make their way back to in-person celebration of the Eucharist. Come home to the in-person celebration of Mass. Now, this lifting of the dispensation doesn't hinder those who are still sick or have difficulties from staying home. But all the rest of us who are good and healthy members of our community need to come back to the altar of God. When you do come back, some things might be a little different. Masks will no longer be required in church, but of course we will all respect those who still choose to wear a mask. And we are reserving the Holy Family Chapel in our church for those people who would like to be separated from people who are not wearing masks, and everyone in the chapel will be required to wear a mask. So there will be, in some sense, a very health, safety place in the Holy Family Chapel for all those who choose it. Social distancing will no longer be required in church, so all the pews are open for seating. We'll go back to having processions. The collection will be taken up by the ushers passing a basket. The offertory procession of bread and wine will be brought from the faithful to the altar. The sign of peace will be reintroduced at Masses. But remember that we want to respect one another as well. So physically touching each other is not required to offer the gift of peace to each other. A simple nod or a word, or if you so choose, a touch, and if it's a welcome touch, you're certainly happy to have that happen in the church. Our Holy Communion procession will go back to using the main aisle of the church and returning by the side aisles, so different from than during the pandemic days. And we are reinstituting all of our liturgical ministers. So we need help from those who are ministers in the church, or maybe some of you would like to become a lector or an usher or a greeter or an extraordinary minister of Holy Communion. If you're willing, please call the parish office because we need your help. It is a joy, particularly in this year of St. Joseph, to welcome all of you back to church. And both Father Jason and I, along with Father Phil, look forward to seeing you at Mass.